is AAPI month. Now, a bunch of you guys aren't even going. You just heard AA, and you're like, "Oh, we're going to celebrate old people." No, it's not. Has nothing to do with old people. Jackson's here to tell us exactly what AAPI is.
Yes, today is May the 1st, which marks the first day of AAPI month. AAPI stands for Asian American and Pacific Islanders. I identify myself as an Asian American, and so we have a month now, so we get to celebrate us.
Yay for your month! This also marks the 1-year anniversary of me thinking you were going to steal my job. Because remember last year you came in and I was all insecure that I wasn't doing a good job, and then you came in with donuts and I was like, Jackson's taking over.
Well, look how far we've come.
Well, I mean, you're never really totally out of the woods.
I am under contract.
I'll eat that. No, that's true. When he came in, Abby really thought that we were having like an on-air audition right in front of her, and he was going to steal her job. Silly.
Imagine that.
Those donuts were very convincing.
Well, in honor of AAPI month, I thought that I'd come in here and start with a segment that Katie inspired me for, which is things not to say to Asian people. Okay?
Okay.
Yes,
Bring
sir.
the list.
Let's do
I
it.
think there's a lot of people out here who could benefit from this list.
I mean, I think you're staring right at somebody that you probably want to start that list with.
Listen, I just wanted to honor the fact that you did karate as a kid.
Speaking of which, number one. Don't ask if we all know karate. That seems pretty self-explanatory.
Listen, if I ask you for a good sushi restaurant recommendation, it does not just because you did.
That's number two.
You are burying yourself right now. Okay, another one. Don't come up to me and bow.
Oh,
Wait,
come
what?
on.
Are you lying?
Oh, these are all things that I have personally experienced.
Wow.
Don't do that.
Oh, I don't know if I want to make this confession, so here I go.
No, you didn't. Yeah, come on, get in the hole with me right here.
This is recent, even. I felt like such an idiot. And I think it's because I'm watching Shogun. So I got a massage the other day. And I am walking out, and like there's the sweetest old man. He must have been like 85 years old working there.
This was just like a couple of days ago.
And he gave me a little bow thing, so I gave him a little bow back.
Well, if they bow first,
That's different.
that's
If you're like
different.
reciprocating, that's a little different.
Okay.
If you had just walked in, bust that door open, and then bowed, that would have been a much different story.
you get a pass on this one.
Yeah, it's close. You don't have to jump in the hole with Abby just yet.
Okay, I'm over here.
If you ask me where I'm from and I say Atlanta, don't follow it up with where are you really from? Because the answer's still the same. I'm from Atlanta. If you're really curious about what my ethnicity is, then just ask. What's your ethnicity? You know?
Well, why that in itself is not kind of an off-putting question. It's just random to me.
It is. I feel like, when you go up to like, a white person, you don't assume that they're German or Italian. Like things like that don't happen. But for some reason, it's weird with Asians where people are like very hard pressed on guessing what you are, which is always off-putting.
Huh. Okay.
I will never forget. Oh, I was in an elevator ride, and we had some K-pop stars here at the studio. And I get into the elevator with the K-pop stars, and another man doesn't work on this floor, so he's not in radio. He works for another one of the companies in the building, gets on the elevator and asks them, like, I'm witnessing this conversation. It literally took like 30 seconds because that's how long we were in the elevator, but asked them if they're Japanese, okay? If they're from Japan. And they were like, no, we're from Korea. And he goes, the good Korea or the bad Korea? Is this really happening right now?
Yeah, I have heard that.
I'm not even kidding you.
Wow.
Oh, I've 100% heard that because when I say like, oh, I'm Korean, they're like, not North, right? And I'm like, come on now, right?
And then they started speaking in their own language, like their language. And I was like, I hope you're talking so much smack about that. Oh my Jesus, in the elevator with us right now.
I think this could be a fun carnival game. Like instead of having somebody guess your height or your weight, when an Asian walks by, you're like, hey, come over here.
All right. Don't ask me if my parents are disappointed that I'm not a doctor. The answer is yes, but that's none of your business.
So that stereotype is true.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Depends on the parents, but for the most part.
Okay. Because I've seen stand-up comedians that are Asian. They all consistently make the same joke. That doesn't matter. If they're on stage doing comedy, they're already a disappointment to their parents.
Don't say that you love Korean food and then say how much you like Kung Pao chicken. That's
No.
That's like going up to an Italian and saying that you really love Papa John's. If there's ever a time where a math problem is ever thrown out there, don't look at me and assume that I have the answer.
Oh, God.
I probably do, but don't assume I do. On the topic of food, Abby, don't ask me where the best sushi restaurant is in town just because I'm Asian.
You literally gave me a
It was
sushi.
a joke. And the last one that I'll say is don't ever come up to me and just say ni hao. What?
I don't even know what that
Ni
is.
hao is hello when you're speaking in Chinese, and people just assume that I'm Chinese because that's like the default, and then they try and prove their knowledge.
You have had people come up to you and they say hello by saying ni hao.
I've had the combo of a ni hao and a bow.
What?
Shut up.
Seriously?
Where is this taking place? Are you just like at Publix and someone comes up to you?
No. At work, Abby, from you.
That's so random, man.
I know, it very much is. But just, stay in your lane.
Thank you for the PSA and happy AAPI month.
Thank you.
Does anyone want to bury me in this hole over here?
The Bert Show.